Yes, going live right now.
Okay, great. I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Temple City Unified School District Board of Education for Wednesday, October 14th, 2020. We'll do our roll call. Member Smith?
Yes, I'm here.
Member Espinosa?
Here.
Member Lynn?
Here.
Member Nolenberg?
Here.
Okay, and I'm here. Our student board member will be joining us at 7. Announcement: tonight's meeting is being digitally recorded. And then we'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Member Smith.
Yes, please rise. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Donna, you're on mute.
You're on mute, Donna.
Okay, I apologize, Matt. I just realized my pages were out of order. So we were not supposed to do the Pledge of Allegiance yet. So can you do it again at 7?
Sure, that was a practice run.
Yeah, okay, everybody did a great job. All right, so we'll move on to item 3, which is public comment on closed session agenda items. And I don't believe we have any, correct, Marie? Okay, so we'll move on to item 4, which is closed session. And the items we have to discuss are personnel matters, government code 54957, public employee appointment, discipline, dismissal, and release. And conference with labor negotiators, government code section 54957.6. The designated representative is me, the board president, and the unrepresented employee is our superintendent. So can I get a motion at 5:03 to adjourn to closed session?
Move. Second.
Okay, motion by member Nolenberg, second by member Smith. Okay, we'll do a roll call vote. Member Nolenberg?
Yes.
Member Smith?
Yes.
Member Espinosa?
Yes.
Member Lynn?
Yes.
And I am a yes. That motion carries 5-0. So we are going to close session and we'll be back by 7 o'clock.
I think Andy's gonna move you over. I'm gonna just shut the door.
Is everybody leaving? And
Are we getting a
We're supposed to get a
breakout room? We need a
Yeah.
breakout
room, I know, I don't see it.
We can stay where we are. We can stay where we are unless somebody else has somebody.
No, it's got
No.
public access.
Yeah, okay, let me text Marie. Oh, hold on a second. Hi, Kyla.
Hey.
We're going into closed session, so if you want to come back at 7.
Well, yeah,
We're
I
waiting
was told
for
it started at 5. I've been in the waiting room for 5 minutes, so I don't know if no one saw
Oh,
me or
sorry.
whatever. Okay.
You missed
All
the
right.
practice pledge.
All right. Just trying to follow the protocol. So I was here at 5. I was just trying to
Yeah.
get in. And so I was like, hey, all right, well, I will come
Oh,
back at
sorry,
6.
Kyla.
All right. Take care.
Okay,
We'll see you in a
Bye-bye.
bit.
7.
Okay.
Yeah.
At 7. Oh, 2
Okay,
hours.
thank you.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
thank you.
Andy said his internet dropped and he's trying to get back in to pull you all into closed session.
Oh, okay.
I just called him.
All right. Okay, that's probably why Kyla couldn't get in. I wonder if I can do it. Let's see here. Create. I'm gonna try.
He's back on.
Oh, okay.
Oh, come on, I'm not admin. This is my meeting, come on.
I had no internet for most of the day today. Our router and our modem went down last night. So all day
Oh, goodness.
Oh man.
I was working off of my iPad using data and I couldn't do very much, but it didn't get resolved. We got new equipment at Spectrum. We brought it back. Then that router wasn't working. So we had to go back again, get another router. And probably by like 1 o'clock, I was finally up and running. So
Oh my God.
Oh,
Spectrum,
it's been a frustrating day. Let's put it that way.
Spectrum is not very customer friendly right now. So I have both Spectrum and AT&T. I added AT&T last month. So it's like having 2 water companies, 2 electric companies, but for internet, it is now essential.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah. It's just an additional,
Backup.
$59.
Just tap into your neighbors.
That's right.
All right. I'm gonna try this. Oh, there's Andy. Oh, I think he's doing it. Okay. Well.
They're all
Everybody's gone
disappearing.
but me?
No, Ken too
I know.
has to go.
Yeah. I don't see me on the list.
I think he put me instead of you because he gave me the option.
Hmm.
You forgot.
We can stay where we are.
Donna, can you check and see if you're the admin of the meeting now? And maybe you have access. Yep, it says Donna is the host now. So she disappeared, so she needs to take Ken. Well, she just disappeared. She needs to pick Ken up, and take him in.
Yeah.
So let me get with Donna.
Hello? Can you come and look? See what we, from one or?
You're not over in the room?
Oh, no.
Kim, what happened is Andy's computer crashed, so Donna's the host now, so we have to move Ken. Oh, there it goes.
Hi, Donna. This is Andy.
Hi, Andy.
Hi. Do you think you could make me the host, and I'll start letting people
Oh,
in?
how do I do that? Or do you want
Yeah, if you
just
go
let
to
them in?
participants,
Uh-huh.
and then if you see me, you can right click on me and say make host.
Okay. Let me find you. Uh-huh. Okay. All right, gotcha.
All right. Thank you so much. I will let
Sure.
everybody in.
I learned something new.
All right. We got 13 people coming in now.
Okay.
Sorry, I can't.
Thank you.
No, not for you. Andy, how do I get rid of that thing on the right-hand side now that lists all the participants?
I think if you click participants again,
Okay, got it.
there you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, the breakout room is going to close in 10 seconds, and then that will move Ken back into the meeting.
Okay.
Carrie.
Okay, let's see. Ken, okay. We'll go ahead and get started. Sorry, we're a little bit late. Item 6 is reconvene to open session. So can I get a motion, please?
So moved.
Motion by member Smith,
Second.
second by member Lynn. We'll do a roll call vote.
I was muted.
Okay. Member Smith,
Yes.
member Espinosa,
Yes.
member Lynn.
Yes.
I am a yes. Member Nolenberg.
Yes.
Okay, that motion carries 5-0. We're reconvened at 7:05. Announcement, tonight's meeting is being digitally recorded. And now for the second time tonight, Member Smith, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes, please rise. Place your right hand over your heart and renew the pledge along with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Number 9 is announcement on actions taken in closed session, and there were none. So we'll move on to item 10, which is our special recognition presentation regarding Canvas. And I'm so excited to hear this. So Hannah, are you going to lead us on this?
I sure can, and we are excited to be here, so thank you for having us. I want to just introduce everybody that's involved with this. Every day, almost every day, we have team meetings with Dr. Mercedes Gomez and myself, and then we have our amazing team, which is Carrie Smith, who has taken over our student data and integrations. And with without him, this entire Canvas project and everything we've done would not have been able to get off the ground. There were many, many sleepless days, literally from day one on. So he had no idea what he was getting into, but he's here nevertheless. So we're grateful for that. And in addition, then we also have our two TOSAs that are with us, which are teachers on special assignment. We have Scott Sherman, who we stole from Oak and has been one of the greatest assets that we could ever hope for when it comes to innovation and moving ourselves forward for educational technology. I think every teacher in the district is grateful to have him. He's just a wealth of knowledge when it comes to educational technology. And then we have Miss Amy Gerling, who is our elementary expert, and her ability to not only reach our newer teachers and pull them into the fold, but understand assessment and how we look at standards and how we are able to move forward with, especially in such a difficult time. It's been such a great team, and we have a lot of fun in our meetings, though we have a lot of difficult challenges ahead of us. So this presentation tonight represents all that we have tried to put together in reaching out to our teachers and our students and our families to give you just a little piece of what we've been able to bring to Temple City. So with that, Scott, are you able to share? Perfect. Awesome. And so with that, I introduce our Dr. Mercedes Gomez, who's going to sort of talk to us about where we were last spring and where we are now.
Yes. So just as Hannah said, we are so excited to be here this evening with you, really just to share the heavy lift that everyone did to bring forth a robust digital learning experience through the Canvas learning management system. So as everyone knows, COVID just completely upended our lives a few months back. And I don't know that any of us really understood the long-term implications that this was going to have for schools. We were literally given hours to pivot from a traditional brick and mortar school setting to a remote experience last March. And while our teachers, students, families did an amazing job of navigating the various challenges that came with distance learning, we definitely tackled it from more of a reactionary approach rather than a proactive approach. And so, I'm sorry? Oh. So teachers were suddenly setting up, virtual classrooms through Google Classroom, teaching their students how to navigate it while simultaneously learning it themselves. And lessons and instructional minutes varied by teacher, with PE and counseling services being provided as needed. And so early on, we recognized that need to begin planning for this school year right away. You'll recall, I think, Hannah bringing a proposal to the board in the spring to consider adopting an LMS. And so thankfully, we were able to mobilize quickly. We moved forward in the formation of an instructional tech committee and the adoption of Canvas. Our teachers worked diligently over the summer to learn as much as possible about Canvas and instructional pedagogy in a distance learning format. So in just a few minutes, you're going to hear from teachers, students, and parents about Canvas, and you are going to be so impressed with all of the hard work and just how successful it's been. Canvas has allowed us to have regulated minutes for both our synchronous and asynchronous instructional time, ensuring compliance with the CDE guidelines. And it's also provided students and parents feedback on their work immediately. It's got a real robust weekly parent communication, and we've also been able to provide bi-weekly PE and social emotional lessons to all of our students. And in the next slide, you're actually going to see a sample of some of those detailed analytics that we have through Canvas to support us in our engagement and attendance tracking. Yes.
So here's a good example of one of the benefits we have from using a robust system like Canvas. With the CDE putting out different requirements for us, and they tend to change them slightly every few weeks, alter them, I should say. So we are very fortunate that we're able to track data in various ways through just the learning management system. We certainly have other ways to do it as well, but this has been a huge benefit for us. And this data is coming from Miss Iris Hannon from her second grade Emperor class. And we just wanted you to see, if you just look, how many page views, right? Like she's getting over 1 million page views the second week of school. And so that was pretty exciting to be able to see how often people are visiting her classroom. They're going in, they're checking things out. How are they participating? At what degree? And then she's able to see and track where students are, how they're participating, what their involvement is, to what degree. And I think that's such a huge valuable resource for teachers. In the spring, we had to ask them, please go back through your Google Classroom and check to see if anybody's logged in. And if they haven't logged in, we need you to give them a certain code so we can track them down. And that was a lot of work for our teachers. And I certainly won't suggest that our teachers aren't having a lot of work still to do all of this, but we've made it so much easier for everyone involved and for the process of what we're required to report to the CDE with this learning management system. And that's one of the benefits that Canvas gives us on the back end that people don't really know about. So it's been very, very helpful. And we just sort of wanted to boast for Ms. Hannon's second grade class how cool this is, that you have, you know, over 1 million page views each week. So it's pretty exciting. So now I'd like to introduce, as I mentioned, our two TOSAs are going to walk you through not only what you will see in the video, but also some of the tools. I think it's really important to understand that Canvas is sort of your shell. It's sort of your house or your locker, so to speak. And within that locker, you have all these very cool resources. And if we didn't have Canvas, these resources, though you can have them separately, are just different places to go. Canvas brings them all together in one place. So with that, I'll introduce Mr. Scott Sherman and Miss Amy Gerling.
Hi there, everyone. Good evening. I'm just going to talk about the first 4 external integrations that are brought into Canvas. So for instance, Nearpod is an integration that allows teachers a good synchronous tool where they can do slideshows, they can do activities like a post-it board, they can show videos, they can do formative quizzes, stuff like that, right within Nearpod, and that connects directly from Canvas. So it's built right in with Canvas. Kami is a PDF reader, and in Kami you are able to annotate right onto the screen with, if you have your finger, or as long as your computer is touchscreen, if you have a stylus. So a lot of like our math teachers are using Kami because they can easily do the math by hand right on the screen. Google Docs, Google Sheets, and Google Slides go right into to Canvas integration. Just like we had for Google Classroom, it's the same process. So we're just getting with Canvas a lot more than what we would have had with Google Classroom. And then Turnitin.com, if you are familiar at all with higher education, you know that Turnitin.com, that's how papers are really graded. So we have brought that in, and it's integrated right in with Canvas as well. Amy's going to talk about the last 3. Amy?
Thank you, Scott. Vocabulary infers that it's a vocabulary simply integration, but it's so much more than that. For our teachers, it is integrated, and it's a wonderful way to cross-disciplinary teach our content to students. But the best part about vocabulary is that it is so interactive, and it incorporates music that they love, gives them the opportunity to interact with music and write poetry about different content. Just a very incredible integration. K3 teachers ask, and you granted Seesaw for our K3 teachers as an interactive platform that builds a portfolio for them. It gives K3 teachers and students a place where the kids can journal, and they can make videos and do drawings. They can make notes, and they can share with the people that are really important to them, like their parents and their classmates, and they can comment on each other's work and build a very supportive environment. And our Gold Star Mastery Connect, which we are newly rolling out last week and more this week and even more in the next few weeks. Mastery Connect will allow teachers to get real-time data on assessments that are standards-based. So they'll be able to provide opportunities immediately in that moment for enrichment for students that are above grade level, mastering their standards, and also to provide intervention opportunities for students that need a little bit more help to meet the standards. And it's a beautiful piece that allows parents, teachers, and administrators and students as well to see how they are doing on their standards so they can make adjustments.
And we're bringing all these, we're showing all these to you because in our video that we will be showing to you in a little bit, a few of these are going to be demonstrated by students. So we wanted you to have a good idea of what you are seeing when you're watching it. Our next slide is going to be some other highlights of Canvas that are integral to a lot of our students' lives every day. This is from a Longden Elementary School teacher, Debbie Durazio. She teaches 4th grade, and her quote for us was, "The to-do list is my favorite part of Canvas. As soon as an assignment is made available by me, my students can easily access the assignment with a simple click." So the to-do list is something that's on each student's dashboards, and they can simply click right there, or at least just see what they have to do for that day or the next couple of days. On the left-hand side of their screen, you'll see the calendar, and that's a great place that parents, students, basically anyone that has access to Canvas can see and plan ahead their whole months. And then on the right-hand side, you'll see a homepage of Debbie Durazio's class, which has her buttons that students click daily. And you'll get a better look at this when our 12th grade student, Suraj, later on gives you a demonstration of his buttons for his teachers. And so with that, we are going to play our short video for you. So here we go.
I see orange basketball. I see orange juice. I see orange fish. I see carrots. I see a pumpkin. I see a tiger. Love you, Mrs. Campbell. You're my best teacher. You're fun. You're sweet and kind and beautiful and gorgeous. Love you. Wow. And most important, you're fun. My weekend was great. I stayed home with my family. Also, we painted on Saturday. We did this because we wanted to have fun. Also, we went swimming. What did you do this weekend?
Great job showing me your writing too, Layla. Thank you. Now, we're going to do one more buddy share about their weekend news. And remember, you can listen to each other's weekend news. You can click that reply button underneath the video, and you can type a comment or a question. Like, sounds like you had a wonderful weekend with your family. And then you also click post reply again. And it goes just to Layla. See how it's right under Layla's video?
Hello everyone, this is Rich Slaymaker and I'm a 4th grade ELA and social science teacher at Cloverly. Every day after checking in with my students on Zoom, we head on over to the assignments module of Canvas, where the students will find either a Nearpod of the day to work on or a Cami assignment. I like using the interactive features included in Nearpod, whether it be in ELA, where I create a lot of assignments using Wonder's curriculum, or in social studies, in assignments such as this, where students were given the opportunity to explore where California was located on the globe using Google Earth. I also use Cami in both subjects. Here we have a compare and contrast essay that students wrote using Cami. And here we have a lesson that was read on Cami in social studies and annotated by students before they answered assessment questions. We did a latitude and longitude as project, and I give students the opportunity to do art on Cami as well for our art gallery. I like using both Nearpod and Cami because they make content pretty accessible for students and they are easy to use with SpeedGrader. Thank you for your time.
Hi, my name is John, and today I'm going to do a little experiment report on what happens to a raisin when we put them in a cup of 7-Up. My hypothesis is that I think in at least 1 to 3 minutes, the raisin's color will come off and disintegrate. Okay, so I think it's like if you put something into a carbonated drink of some sort, the bubbles will attach to it, stay on it, and then make it float all the way up. And then once it reaches the air, it'll pop and then go straight back down. And that is my experiment report presentation. Thank you for watching.
About our reading journal assignment. This week's reading journal assignment is reading journal number 4. And your focus is what? Who can tell me?
Similes.
Yeah, 3 similes. Would anyone like to tell me what a simile is?
Comparing two unlike things using like, as, or as if.
Yay! All right, so we were comparing 2 unlike things or more using the words like, as, or as if. So here are my example sentences. She is as slow as a snail. That sentence was written about me. And the dog smelled like an old gym sock, which I don't ever want to participate in smelling. What you're going to do is you're going to make sure that you have 3 similes in your reading journal. You are going to highlight and make sure that they are identified in your reading journal before you turn it in. And that's along with all the other requirements. Remember that you can look at the parameters, the assignment description by clicking this link. And you can even take a look at an annotated example with everything you need to know so that you can follow the instructions and try to get 100%, because I know you're capable of it. Go ahead and just click right there. And then our reading journal rubric is here. If you want to take a look at that before you write it, you can see what it takes to get 100%.
Hi, my name is Michelle Yoder. I have a 12th grade student and a freshman. I appreciate having the Parent Canvas app just because it's an easy way for me to stay on top of things. This is my son's page, and I'm in the calendar view of him right now. I can easily switch between my son and my daughter, and that's very easy. This page here is the overall course view, and this is the one that I look at most frequently. Just gives me a nice snapshot. I can click into one if I really want to. I don't usually do this because this is a lot more detail than I need, but I think it's super helpful. I also have myself set up to receive daily notifications from Canvas. This is also probably more than I need, and I probably will switch to weekly, but for now, this is great. And for example, yesterday, not only did the teachers post something, but the counseling department did. Miss Ioli posted something about a Fafsa workshop coming up, and this makes it super easy for me to take a look and see what it is. So I appreciate that. And I really like the fact that it puts both of my students' info in one email. That is a thumbs up. So thank you to the district for implementing something like Canvas, just to help make it easy for parents during this time.
So with that, again, nothing beats the very first part of it, right? The kindergartner who's engaging in distance learning. When we all saw that, it just made our day. But it's not to acknowledge that this didn't come after a lot of hard work, and certainly hard work to set it up. But I'm talking also about our teachers. This is difficult. It's a difficult tool to learn. While Canvas is an amazing resource and has a lot to offer us, it wasn't easy. And they dug in and learned in their off time, and even still are learning every day. And so a lot of kudos go out to our teaching staff who are trying their best to learn every resource, trying to figure out the best ways to do their job in the environment that is, not what they would ever choose. So I don't ever want to forget how hard our teachers are working. I'm so grateful that we have Scott, Amy, and Carrie to help us support our teachers, because it's been a huge resource to us to have more people to get out there and get the arms out there and make sure we're able to contact everyone. And many of what you saw in the video was a cute little video clip that you would see students could do and teachers could do. And this is a valuable resource in Canvas as well, called our studio feature. And I think that video component becomes so important so that we have that personal touch where we're constantly talking back and forth, not just teachers to students, but giving students a way back into their teachers. So with that, I just wanted to extend a true thank you to all of our teaching staff, our counseling staff, our principals, assistant principals, everybody at the sites. This hasn't been easy. This video makes it look easy, I think, but it really hasn't been. But it has been a valiant effort, and I know that we've done a really good job, and there's certainly more we can do, and we'll continue to work that way. But in that, I'd like to introduce first to you Dr. John Wu, who has been a great resource of mine. He's not only, I believe, an alumni of our district, but he's also a parent in our district, and he also works with many students within the San Gabriel Valley. So he had a few words to share tonight, and I'm so grateful for him to be here. So I'd like to introduce to you, Dr. John Wu.
Hi, everybody. I wanted to thank the district for integrating Canvas into our curriculum. Prior to this, it was a struggle. I'm the only parent at home with the kids during the day. And so having to print all the stuff out from Google Class, giving it to them in worksheets, and then uploading all the stuff before 9 o'clock was quite difficult because I work pretty long days. With Canvas, things have just gotten so much easier for me. I don't have to worry about printing things out. I have 2 second graders and a 6th grader, and all their work is done on Canvas. They submit it, they get feedback from the teachers right away. And I feel like I could check it, but I don't have to be as involved because, prior to this fall, I felt like I was in school as much as the kids were in school, and that was really difficult for us parents. So I really have appreciated the Canvas. Also wanted to note that the synchronous learning is one of the best things that I've ever could have hoped for in the last, at the end of the last school year, because we were scrambling. I felt like I was sitting there teaching my kids how to read clocks, and I'm not an educator, so I don't know how to teach. I honestly can't do it well. And with the synchronous learning, I feel like the kids are getting what they need, between 8 and 12, and they get up, they're excited to go to school, and they're learning from their peers as well. I think that's something that we can't, that's something that's invaluable. Learning from each other is just as important as learning from teachers. And with what the district is doing, I'm actually very happy about our distance learning. I work with some of the students at other districts, and I know that they haven't been as fortunate as our district in that they have a lot of asynchronous learning. Can't say that word today. Where they would go on in class for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then they would work independently for another half an hour before coming back on. And the parents I have talked to in those districts get very frustrated because their students want to ask questions, and they interrupt the parents who are working at home to get answers. And the way Temple City has done it with the 8 to 12 learning, I think it's great because in that they get to ask the other students and the teachers all the questions. And I don't know half the stuff that the teachers know how to teach. I teach it the wrong way, and the way I learned it is very different. So I was telling Hannah, I'm actually quite proud of this district. And I went through Longden and Oak and Temple City High School myself, and to see it evolve into this is great. I can't be more proud of this district.
Thank you so much, Dr. Wu. I appreciate it. Just so you know, I'm also a Longden Oak High School as well.
Yay.
So shout out. Thank you. Our next speaker is going to show you a little bit of what he goes through each day, and that is our 12th grader, Suraj. Suraj?
Hello, everyone. My name is Suraj Shah, and just to check, can everyone hear me okay? Yes, awesome. So yeah, my name is Suraj Shah, and I'm a 12th grader at Temple City High School, and I'm here to show you guys what I go through on a normal day. So for the first time you log in, you're going to log in through clever.com, if I can type. Clever.com, there we go. And you click the button on the top right, which says log in as a student. If you're on your school computer or you're signed in with your school account, you just have to click log in with Google, and it will automatically log you into Clever. You only have to do this once because it will save your information, so you don't have to keep logging into Clever every single day. And it gives you options here, iReady, Google, or Canvas. And I favorite Canvas because that's one I access all the time. So I click Canvas, and it automatically takes me to the website. And right here, what we can see is we see my dashboard. So these are all of my classes that I'm a part of and courses that I'm in. And on the right side here, we have a giant to-do list. And this has everything from all of my classes compiled into one giant list. Normally, I don't really look at this too much because it has announcements and other assignments that I don't need to worry about. I usually just go to the normal classes and find them from there. So starting off, on a normal day, I might access my English class because I have that second period. So tomorrow, it'd be my first class. And what we see here is what many teachers' homepages look like. You have some sort of introduction with their name and a fun little Bitmoji that they have, and then some buttons. And here we can see the About Me, which is about the teacher, the course outline, agenda, Zoom link, office hours. What I use is the Zoom link, and it's really simple. You click it, it opens a new tab, and you can access Zoom from here. All really simply. And I'm not going to access Zoom because I'm already in Zoom. Now, let's say class ends, and now I want to switch between classes and go to my next class. Well, it's really simple. I just have to click courses, and automatically it pops up all my classes, and let's say I go to physics. So now I can click physics and go through here. Once again, we have a home page similar to that in English, where you have a little fun introduction, and then maybe an agenda at the bottom here, which tells you what's going to happen throughout the week. It just so happens that I also have an assignment to turn in for physics, so we can do that too. On the right side, we have my to-do list specifically for this class. But once again, it has announcements and other things I don't need to see. So I find it easier to go through the module section. When I go through modules, it has all the different pages and things I need to know. And my teacher for physics makes some modules based off the chapter. Other teachers may do it based off the week 1, week 2. My teacher chooses the chapter, and it's just up to the teacher's preference. So over here, we see my assignments, and we can click onto an assignment, and it will show me what I have to turn in. And I can click, I already submitted this assignment, but let's say I didn't, and I submitted it, then I have another one to go to. I can just click the next button at the bottom right and submit the next one. And over here, we see the assignment that's due tonight. Tonight? Say Thursday? Tomorrow night, I think. Yes, it's due tomorrow night. And I can click submit assignments, and this is where the integration that was aforementioned comes into play. I can click Google Drive because this is where I save my PDF that I need to turn in. And once it loads up, it's going to ask me, do I want to sign in with this account? And that's going to be my school account. Or it's already signed in for me because I did it earlier. And now I can scroll down to where my assignment is, and this will be under Rocketbook because it's the folder I keep. And I'm doing AP Physics Chapter 4-2. So I click Submit, and just as simple as that, it uploads it one more time, Submit, and then I should be good. So it says now, at the top right, my assignment is submitted. And it's just as simple as that. Now, one of the cool things I like about Canvas is the feedback option, which shows you what you did wrong, and a teacher can annotate on your work. So if I go to my calculus class, and I took a test recently in this class, so it's a great way to look at what I did wrong and how I can improve on that test. So what we do is we go to the grade section, and here we have all of our assignments and all the scores we got. We see that my test is test 1, and I got 90 out of 100. And I don't know why that is, so I click into it, and I can click View Feedback. The coolest part about this is if I zoom in and open it up full screen, I can see exactly where I went wrong because the teacher can annotate in those specific problems. For example, in this specific part, I wrote down cosine squared x instead of cosine cubed x. And I can see this because the teacher has an annotation for it. This will help me prevent also future mistakes of sorts, and is a great way to simulate the experience of getting your test back in person. Now, this is really cool, and I know this is very useful because I used it over summer when I was taking a PCC class, so I know this is used in college, and even the Cal States it's used. So knowing how to use this program now will really help us in the future in those college courses that we may end up taking. So I believe it's very cool and very helpful that we're learning it now and becoming more efficient and proficient in the system. Does anybody have any questions for me? Is there anything else you guys would like to see me do or show you guys?
Very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is great. This is amazing.
Thank you.
With that, I just wanted to remind everyone, it's only been, I think about, I'm just looking at the weeks, I think under 20 weeks from when you guys approved the contract for us to go to Canvas. This isn't normal. I've talked to the people at Canvas, and I had a couple things that we were frustrated with, and I was reaching out to them and I said, we're just struggling on these few items. And she said, you do realize you did about a year's worth of work in about, under 20 weeks. And so like I said, I certainly don't want to suggest that this has been easy or that everybody is just, coming in, doing it so simply. There are struggles every day. Every day we support each other and help each other. But at the end of the day, I do believe as a team throughout this district, we've done a really great job to bring something to our students and families that I think beyond COVID will really help us move to that next level. I want to thank Dr. John Wu, who was here tonight, present with us, and then also Siraj. I was fortunate enough to meet Siraj the other day, and Miss Amy Gerling, who is a former teacher of Siraj's as well, introduced him as a future president of the United States. Right? We all agree that that would be lovely if that could be true. So we hope that. Siraj, you were awesome tonight, so we really appreciate it. If you guys don't have any other questions for us, we just wanted to say thank you again for giving us this great opportunity.
Can I just comment? I love this presentation. It really, really energized me to think like, decisions that we make here and in how it comes to fruition and the work that it took to get that done. Unbelievable, amazing job. You guys are just awesome. I remember when we were talking about this, one of the biggest concerns was, do we have enough time to really deliver it the way it needs to be delivered with people trained and, all of that. And there was a question, and I thought, you know what, we got to trust the team. So that's what we did. And I think it turned out great. And so thank you so much for your dedication, your professionalism, your expertise, and your kind of collaboration, because without that, I don't think this could have been possible. So awesome job.
So if that was a motion from Mrs. Espinoza, I would like to second that motion. I mean, the presentation provided to us was like a learning walk experience that of what distance learning looks like in the virtual classrooms. Saved us a lot of work because you put in a lot of work to put this together. So I want to thank Mercedes, Hannah, Scott, Amy, John, and Siraj for this wonderful presentation. And I want to thank you also for the hours. It must have taken many hours that you spent compiling and splicing all those videos together. It's not just the filming piece, right? There's also the editing piece that takes a long time. But more importantly, I want to thank you for providing the day-to-day support to our classrooms and school sites. It's not just a presentation at a board meeting. You're doing this day in, day out. Talking about flying a plane while it's being built, right? And I'm happy to see that we've invested in Canvas, which appears to be paying dividends. And I want to thank Dr. Fricker for your foresight and leadership throughout this process. And looking at the slides, there was one slide that contains the second grade activity report, like millions of hits. It appears that Canvas can capture student attendance and engagement logs. I'm happy to know that flexibility is provided to K3 as well by supporting the use of Seesaw. This is just a fabulous example of flexibility and customer service to our teachers and classrooms. So hats off to the support staff in supporting 2 different learning management systems. It's not just one, even though we heard mostly today was about Canvas. I do have a question about Seesaw though. How does K3 capture attendance and engagement logs with Seesaw?
Thank you. That's a great question. So some of our teachers are actually building Seesaw into Canvas. So right now, when you go into Canvas, you can link into Seesaw. And so some teachers are putting it on their calendar view, right? So as an assessment or, I'm sorry, as an assignment or an agenda item, we can capture it on the calendar to sort of show proof of that assignment, right? And then there are also reports that each teacher will be able to run and that we can run at the district level to show activity usage within Seesaw. So we're able to capture it in both ways. And then there's also, especially for our littles, they can go right into Seesaw. And I said, we can get those reports. I think the benefit of having them intertwined is that parents can go one place and sort of see the big picture and then click on the links to get to Seesaw and other elements. We do hope that in the future, Seesaw continues to build out their ability to integrate into an LMS because they're not a genuine LMS. But if they could have a little better integration, it would be easier on the teacher and parent side and still keep that great interactive piece for our students.
Great, thank you.
Can I add something about Seesaw? I think Seesaw is great. So I have 2 second graders. They can write on the Seesaw, they can type, They can record a voice. They could draw pictures. They could do shapes. I think it is so flexible and great. If we could keep that integration in Canvas, that would be great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Other comments? I just wanted to say, in keeping with the simile theme, I'm as happy as a pig in mud. That was fabulous. I thank you to everybody who worked so hard, and it really shows. Thank you, Dr. Wu and Suraj, for being here and giving us your input. It's very much appreciated. And I was wondering that video was fantastic. If it would be possible, if we could put that on our website so that visitors to our website can see what a great job our staff is doing. If that would be possible, I think it would be great.
Absolutely.
So thank you all again very, very much. It was wonderful. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Did you want to say something, Matt?
No, I just said absolutely. It was wonderful. I won't repeat everything everybody else
Okay.
said.
All right. Well, thank you again for being here, and we appreciate all your efforts very, very much. Okay, we'll move on to item 11, which is public comment on agendized and non-agendized items. And I don't think we have any, but just let me double check with Marie. Did any more come in, or any come in, Marie?
You're muted, Marie.
No, none came in. We're good.
Thank you. Okay, so we'll move on to item 12, which is community update. And I have a few things I wanted to announce. We have some fundraisers going on right now. Temple City High School PTSA is doing a fundraiser at Quickly on Friday, October 16th. That's this Friday from 12 to 8. I believe you have to have a flyer for that, and you can find it on the Temple City High School Facebook page. Also, I have it on my Facebook page, or I'm sure if you called the high school, someone could help you get that flyer. The Temple City Performing Arts Boosters are doing a fundraiser at Chipotle on Tuesday, October 20th from 4 to 8. I know Ramrodders did one last week and I went, and you don't have to have the flyer. You just have to tell them it's for Temple City Performing Arts. The Pride of Temple City, our Temple City High School Marching Band is doing a fundraiser. They're selling face masks. They're Temple City High School face masks. And I believe you have to order them online. The website is www.fsp-designs.com/TCHSPOTC. And again, if you didn't catch that, I'm sure you could call the high school and they could get you that information. I also wanted to announce that the City of Temple City is doing a couple of Halloween events. They are doing a door decorating contest, and you can get information about that on the City of Temple City's website. And they also are doing a drive-through Halloween event on October 31st from 6 to 9. And they're going to be handing out candy and having different activities for the children as they stay in the car so they can be nice and safe. And again, more information about those are available on the city's website. I just wanted to announce that this is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And also it is School Administrators Week. And we thank all our school administrators for all their hard work. And lastly, I wanted to remind everybody that our November meeting has been changed. It was originally scheduled for November 11th, but because that is Veterans Day, we're going to be holding it on November 18th. Next, we'll move on to item 13, which is district updates. And we will start with business services. Mary Ann Sorrell.
Good evening. A brief update on our shade structure project. LPA, which is the architectural firm that the district has contracted with, will be meeting with the Division of State Architect on November 12, 17, and 19 for plan checks. We do not anticipate any issues at these plan checks, as all the structures that we've selected have been pre-approved by DSA. USA Shade has placed the order for the metal and the fabric to begin manufacturing of the structures, and we will update the board and the community as soon as we have the final manufacturing dates and installation schedules. Also, I'd like to give a brief update on the La Rosa project. Forensic Analytical will be providing an update to the La Rosa staff and cabinet at 1 p.m. on 2:30 p.m. on October 23rd. And they are scheduled to update the board at our next meeting on October 28th. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Educational Services, Hannah Getty.
So overall, as you can see, all of the work that's continuing with our educational technology, we continue to train every Friday. We roll out sessions that are optional for all of our staff. Scott and Amy, and then sometimes our vendors come in and do a presentation. Last Friday, we had a presentation from Mastery Connect, which again is going to be, I think, a game changer for how we're able to assess our students, look at data, be able to move students to each level, and including enrichment, right? So even when our students are exceeding standards, not just stopping with them there, but being able to give them enrichment. So we're excited to continue that and look at our team building within our grade levels. I know that Dr. Gomez has been wrapping up the EL testing with all of our coordinators. It's been so much work just gathering the doing the testing, gathering the information, recording it properly, and making sure that we're set up for success in that area. I know also Dr. Ketterian with special ed, we have began and continuing to support the assessments and having students come in. And I know we're looking to be able to support those students as we move forward to whatever learning model, however things continue to transform. We want to make sure that we're offering all of our students what they need. Moving into just working with all of our sites. I think everybody's done such an amazing job just really supporting, making sure all students have access. We continue to support students when they need to change out a device. Our TK and Kinder are getting their new iPads this week and next week with their little headsets with their microphones. So we're super excited for that. I think that will make it just a little bit more accessible for them and much more engaging as they get to wear their special headset. And I'm excited for our kindergarten teachers as well, because I'm hoping it will make their job a little bit easier in what they're trying to do. So that's coming up, like I said, this week and next week. And we just continue to move forward planning. And as we keep problem solving, we're really making adjustments to consider not just a hybrid model, but then moving on beyond that when we get to normal, because that's going to happen one day. And when that happens, we're excited to be able to use this educational technology to support what's going on in the classroom. So thank you.
Thank you very much. And next is Personnel Services, Monica Mackevitz.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to give a quick update from the Personnel Department. I first want to thank all the office managers and secretaries and site support staff who came out for our first support meeting on October 7th. We had a chance to check in with everyone, just review policies and procedures. And I want to thank Marianne Marie Vera for helping me plan that. We hope to hold them quarterly. So just to have a check-in for the sites and see how they're doing and just update anything that we need to as the year progresses. Negotiations, we are just starting negotiations with TCEA. We're about to have our third meeting. I want to thank both teams for working collaboratively with each other. We're working on a variety of proposals, and it's been a great experience so far. And I thank all the information that the TCA team has brought to the table, as well as the TCUSD team. So it's been great. We are due to sunshine for CSEA 823 and 105 on our next board meeting. So we will start those negotiation procedures. In terms of staffing, we welcomed our 3 new supervisors for M&O for grounds and custodial the last week and a half. Got to meet with them, do an onboarding meeting. We're excited to have them aboard and start meeting with our staff and becoming a part of our TCUSD team. In terms of further staffing positions, this week we are working on the utility worker positions, the irrigation specialist, the personnel technician, personnel clerk, and the clerk 1 and 2 at the high school, as well as the ELD coordinator at Longden. Quick reminder, our personnel commission appointment, Jeannie Arprecio has put in for reappointment. The public hearing for that is scheduled for October 28th. We will send more info out for that. where we have a chance to introduce Gina and do a question and answer session with her. Quick reminder, mandated reporter and anti-harassment training for all staff is through Targeted Solutions. We give friendly reminders each week, but I do want to thank the staff for getting their training done. But if there are any questions, please just reach out to me. If I need to reset your password or whatever you need, just let me know. American Fidelity, last but not least, as American Fidelity was able to extend our benefits enrollment to October 16th. And if you have any questions about benefits, please contact the personnel department or me, and we will point you in the right direction. But thank you very much. And no, I haven't lost power, but it looks like it. But thank you.
Move around more.
Okay, thank you very much. Item 14 is bargaining unit comments, and we'll start with TCEA. Kyla, do you have anything for us tonight?
I just wanted to say thank you to the board. I've been really paying attention the last couple of meetings, and I appreciate the questions that you guys have asked. I feel like each week or each meeting that I attend, I'm hearing you guys ask questions that are really looking out for the students and for our teachers. So I just really appreciate your inquiries and the questions that you guys have brought up, each of you. And I also wanted to just say thank you to how well I feel the district office has been responding to questions that I've been putting out. You know, sometimes there's bumps in the road, and I just appreciate the transparency and the clear communication and the quick communication in resolving things or getting me answers. So I very much appreciate that. I think the one thing that I have heard some of our members speak to that has been a little bit of a frustration, and I don't really know what we can do, if anything, to change it, is just rising healthcare costs for insurance. I'm not sure that there's anything to be done about it. I feel maybe it's a national or state problem that's larger than us, but I thought at least I'd put it out there and let you guys know. I know a couple of years ago, we tried to look for if there's a better solution in a collaboration with the district office. It didn't really yield anything, but I just would put it out there because it is, we did just sign up, and a lot of people are noticing those increased costs. So just putting it out there.
Thank you very much. CSEA 105, Robin, I thought I saw her.
I don't have anything tonight. I have nothing tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. CSEA 823, Art.
Hi, good evening. I have nothing myself. Thank you.
Thank you, Art. All right, we'll move on to item 15, which is board member comments. Tonight it's my turn to go first. I wanted to thank Myra Riddell, the principal at Emperor School, and also teachers, Mrs. Law, Mrs. Medina, Mrs. Scanlon, Mrs. Laughlin, and Mrs. Keelan for allowing me to observe their classrooms. It was evident that they put a lot of time and effort into preparing for the school year, and they're doing a fabulous job. So thank you very much for allowing me to observe and be able to experience that. I also wanted to thank Marlise Reyna. She is a teacher at Oak Avenue, and she was the featured speaker for Temple City Relay for Life, and she did a wonderful job. Marlise was our district teacher of the year a couple years ago, and unfortunately I have not had the pleasure of meeting her in person, but I want to wish her well, and I'm looking forward to meeting her hopefully at the Oak Avenue campus sometime soon. I wanted to thank the Kiwanis Club for including the board and district staff in their Zoom meeting they had yesterday. Their speaker was the Vice President of the State Board of Education, Eileen Strauss, and I appreciate them doing that. Yesterday, I also participated in another call. It was the Youth National Call on School Equity, and it was hosted by one of their groups. It's the Youth Equity Stewardship. And I wanted to listen to that because I know we have a lot of young people in our community that are interested in equity on school campuses. And it really was an interesting phone or a Zoom call. And I'm hoping that we can get some more information on that and maybe pass it on to some of our students that are interested in this subject. I think maybe this could provide them with some real good guidance on how they can make some changes in our community. Lastly, I participated in a webinar through the California School Board Association. They had two speakers. One was speaking about legal issues for school districts, and the other one was legislative issues. And I know a couple of my fellow board members were on that also, and they may have more comments to add, but there was a couple of things I got from that. First of all, they spoke about liability to school districts during COVID. And I think the important thing for us to remember is that we have a duty to enforce our regulations. And I know our unions and our staff have brought weaknesses to our attention in the past. And I really appreciate that, because by doing that, they're protecting our district as a whole and limiting our liability. And the other thing was they talked about a lot of different regulations and requirements having to do with special ed, having to do with the health department, having to do with the state legislation that provides our funding. And it struck me that we are in a pretty good position, pretty strong position here in the Temple City Unified School District. Our staff has been working diligently since the beginning of COVID to make sure that we're dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's and doing all the things they need to do to put us in a good, strong position to be able to navigate this pandemic. So I wanted to thank all the staff for all your hard work during these last 8 months. I know it's been really trying and tiring and stressful, but you've really done a great job putting our district in a good place. So thank you for all of that. Next up is Dr. Lin. You're next.
Hey, thank you, President Giorgino. Knowing that our superintendent and staff have been putting in so many long hours, I'm going to keep it very short this evening and say that I have no update. So thank you.
Thank you. Member Smith?
Oh, okay. I'm on. I wanted to thank everybody for the presentation on Canvas earlier. Several board members already commented. I was saving my comments for this point. But a great presentation, well received, and it was exciting to see something that we so recently approved implemented so quickly and so well. I had a chance to kind of sit in on the LACO Teacher of the Year recognition on October 1st. It was a nice event. They basically spent time going through all the districts in the county and recognizing them, and then at the end specifically recognized the top 10 teachers of the year. I do have a comment, and I want this to be constructive, and I hope nobody takes it wrong, but when they got to, they go in alphabetical order. When they got to Saugus, the next district that came up was Torrance, not Temple City. And I'm sure everybody on this meeting knows that actually my son Kyle was the district teacher of the year for Temple City. And I asked him what happened, and he said he wasn't sure, maybe he missed an email. And he doesn't really care. He's not looking for the recognition. I think the recognition from the district and his peers was all he ever really cared about. But in the years past, it used to be kind of a big deal. They have a nice luncheon at Universal's Sheraton, which I think I've mentioned before, and it's well coordinated. But somehow, something between LACO and Kyle broke down, and it's kind of a once in a lifetime thing to be recognized as the district teacher of the year. And so maybe in the future, I wouldn't. The way he put it, it kind of sounded like he missed something, and I'm not sure that was right. It shouldn't, the onus shouldn't be on the district teacher of the year to follow up. It should really come coordinated between LACO and the district. So I just offer that as some thoughts for the future. Also on October 1st, the Temple City High School Rampage hosted a candidate forum for the upcoming election in November. They did a super job. It was done over Zoom, and they managed this as well as anybody I've seen. So kudos to them for that. October 3rd, Donna mentioned the Relay for Life, and that the keynote speaker was Marlise Rena. She did a fabulous job. She was really good. I also wanted to say that out of all the teams for the Relay for Life, actually Oak Avenue team is the biggest. It has 26 members, and they raised about $1,700. So that was all for a good cause. Donna also mentioned the Kiwanis meeting we had last night. Yeah, last night. Time flies. And the presenter was Eileen Kraus, and she is actually the vice president of the Board of Education for the state of California. And she had a really nice presentation too, and went through a lot of things that we have been addressing through our district and other districts throughout the state. So that was a nice event and much appreciated. It turns out that Eileen's sister is one of our Temple City Kiwanis members, so she was the one who coordinated it all. Congratulations and thank you to all of our school administrators, being School Administrator Week. Thank you for all that you do. And I guess that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Member Espinosa.
Good evening, everybody. I'm going to keep my comments brief as well. I participated in the Ramrodders fundraiser. I hope it was successful. And I also attended the CSBA training, and I echo what Donna said. I think I felt like we were in a very solid position, and other districts were maybe not as fortunate. So, and just based on the questions, you could kind of gauge that. So kudos to everybody here on this call, because collaboratively we've put ourselves in a good position. I'm looking forward to attending the PTA council meeting tomorrow. I also attended the grad night meeting, and it looks like the RSVPs are a little low, and there's still time until November 1st. But if the group can't get the number of RSVPs they need, they're going to change the location. So I think the deadline is November 1st, and so that was some news there for our seniors. And last, I've talked to many parents, and they're hearing from other districts that are things are going on with returning to school, hybrid model discussions, and all that. So I'm looking forward to the time where we can have some discussions about what's next and how we transition. So that's all for me tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Member Nolenberg?
Yes, I also listened to the Relay for Life, the cancer group. It only lasted 37 minutes. So unfortunately, it was not as long as I thought it was going to be. I also would like to praise the Canvas presentation today. We were learning how the schools were adapting to the communication problem, and how the schools were adopting technology. Also, I listened to the to one of the other board meetings. I can't remember which one now. I'm sorry. I that's it. Thank you. And I'd like to thank all the supervisors and personnel at the senior level who've done an excellent job of being able to get all these people together and present programs that help all our students, not just a selected group. Okay, thank you.
Well, thank you. Item 16 is our student board member comments. Nicole, and I think she's going to keep her camera off because she's having some internet issues.
Hi, everyone. So I just wanted to say that it was really nice to see those younger kids like interacting with Canvas, and especially because I didn't know how exactly they would adjust to that. And it just makes me happy knowing that they are having a good education this year. And I wanted to see if there are any updates on if any of our staff was affected by any of those past fires we've had recently, if there are even any in those areas. So does anyone know about that? If not, that's all right.
I don't know. Maybe Monica, do you know if any of our staff have been adversely affected by the fires?
Yes, there has been a few, and I can share those names with you. just, via email. I don't know if they would want their name said out loud, so I just want to circle back with you, and I could sort. There's been just a handful.
Okay, thank you. And I also wanted to ask if there's anything you guys would like me to directly advertise to the students, because of we have our ASB page that a lot of students go to for information. So if there's anything important you wanted to share or anything like that, then you could ask me to advertise it to your students to hopefully get more involvement for them. And that's it for me.
Can I ask a
that'd be
question really
great.
quick of Nicole?
Yeah, of course.
Was the grad night announcement on that page?
Yeah,
Do you know?
so I don't think I saw a grad announcement, but I could ask them to send out an infographic for that if you'd like me to do that.
Yeah, I'll put you in touch. I'll put the president of the grad night committee in touch with you. Is that okay? And
yeah, of
you guys
course.
can coordinate. Okay,
Mhm.
great. Thank you.
Of course.
Okay, thank you very much, Nicole. Item 17 is our superintendent's comments.
Hello, everyone. I just want to say happy Administrators Week. I know that this is a special time where we can actually honor all the many administrators out there at the school sites who are, working every single day to make sure that their sites are safe and that their staff has what they need and that everything is attended to. So we do appreciate all of you. We hope you enjoyed your little goodie today that was delivered. So thank you so much for all the work that you do. You are truly valued and appreciated, more than you know, more than people take time to say, but from my heart to yours, thank you so much. And then I also want to just touch on the presentation, the Canvas online presentation today. And thank you so much to everybody who has come behind the scenes and really made that work and put in time, effort, and energy to support one another, go through the labor-intensive trials and tribulations to make sure that everything was presented in a way that was most accessible to our staff. Nothing is perfect, things have hiccups. We appreciate your grace and we appreciate all of the work that you have done carrying the ball forward for us as conveyed in the student presentations that we saw tonight. And so those are just a few of many, many, many teachers who have just gone above and beyond, far too many to name, but always of value to us. So please keep that in your thoughts when you have teachers. If you can just send them a note and just say what a great job that they're doing, that would go a very long way for them. So moving on to what are we going to do next? We are currently trying to set up a special board meeting for the Board of Education to go through what is the next phase of dealing with the COVID crisis look like, and how do we navigate that as a staff and as a district. And so I know that many of our neighboring counties, some have begun to open, some have opened a little bit. Some people and students have returned to school. And so we have been really looking at some of those more southern counties where that is the case and students are back on campuses, and what have they done? What can we learn from them? What tips can we steal and kind of navigate here so that we have an easier time putting forth our plan as to what do we do after we are completely in the online environment? What do we do to move into a hybrid environment or go forward as the restrictions are limited by the Department of Public Health? Right now they are not, so we do have plenty of time to work with our stakeholders, gather some feedback, survey some folks, and then really come together and decide what are the next phases and steps for us as a district. We are putting back into play the Superintendent's Task Force, and so that team will be reconvened. Kyla will work with you and your membership, Robin, you as well, just to make sure, and then Art as well, just to make sure that we have representatives on that task force that help guide those decisions as we build those plans for the future. So that is all to come. We are hopeful, and we will publish the special board meeting that, like we did last time, we will host a special board meeting where we will discuss what those plans will be upcoming. But right now we're still at a stay put, and we have plenty of time to really gather together and do some really in-depth planning in order to make it as successful as the launch of online was successful. So we would hope to continue that success moving forward. We thank everybody for all of their participation thus far, and then we just thank you guys in advance for those teachers and those stakeholders who will be helping us develop those plans in the future. And that's all for me, Donna.
Thank you. Item 18 is written communications. I received one. It was from LACO notifying us that they had reviewed our unaudited actuals for 2019, 2020, and they're being forwarded to the California Department of Education. Next is item 19. It's review Williams complaints quarterly summary for July 1st, 2020 through September 30th, 2020. And I believe Mercedes Gomez is going to tell us a little about that.
Yeah, yes, sorry, I was still on mute. So yes, we, as part of the Williams legislation that ensures all students have equal access to the basics of quality education, districts need to document any complaints received in the areas of materials, facilities, or teacher misassignments, and we have none for the quarter of July 1st through September 30th.
Thank you very much. Any questions about that? Okay, we'll move on to item 20, which is approve the Temple City Youth Committee Mental Health Survey. And Hannah Getty, I believe, is going to tell us what this is.
Yes, so we received a request, Mr. Lohman at the high school received a request from a student at the high school that represents a group of students who are part of the Temple City Youth Committee. They're not affiliated with Temple City Unified or the high school. However, they do work with Senator Rubio's office, and they've been given this awesome task where she's going to partner and support them in having them gather data, collect and analyze data that suggests how Temple City can better serve the youth in Temple City as far as, you know, promoting good mental health. So the survey, I had put it in a report to the board a couple weeks ago. Most of the questions are very much just asking what kind of events the youth in our district, in our city would like to see and would help alleviate stress, what kind of items, what kind of things, events cause them stress. There were 2 questions that maybe could be construed as some personal information. So it was very important that we requested that the youth committee offer an anonymous survey. So they are willing to do that. Their survey will be completely anonymous. They're asking to offer it. They're just asking for us to help promote it, to send it out. But we would be clear that it is not a Temple City Unified School District survey. It's not affiliated with us, that we're just supporting the committee, and that it would probably go to grades 4 through 12, but will require parent permission for students to participate in the survey. And again, all data will be completely anonymous and not tied to the student's name.
And I'll just add, this is the same group that came up with the recommendation to move the crosswalk at Temple City High School. So they're very active in trying to improve their community, and this is their next project. Does anybody have any questions about that? Okay, would someone like to make a motion to approve it?
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Motion by member Espinosa, second by member Nolenberg. Nicole?
Yes.
Okay. Member Espinosa?
Yes.
Member Lynn?
He's muted, but he said yes.
Yes.
I see. I can read lips. Okay, I'm a yes. Member Nolenberg?
Yes, I see.
Did you realize that probably, I think 9 of the people who are on the youth committee for Temple City are also students at the high school or at some school that we control?
Okay, we're voting on it right now. What is your vote?
Yes.
Okay, great. And member Smith?
Yes.
All right, motion carries 5-0. Item 21 is to receive board policies for first reading. We have board policy 411923, 421923, 431923, unauthorized release of confidential privileged information. Board policy 4119.3, duties of personnel, that's to be deleted. Board policy 4119.41, 4219.41, and 4319.41, employees with infection diseases. Board Policy 4119.42, 4219.42, 4319.42, Exposure Control Plan for Bloodborne Pathogens, and finally, Board Policy 4119.43, 4219.43, and 4319.43, Universal Precautions. Monica, do you have anything
I can go
you want to tell us about any of these?
I know that it's the first reading, so between now and the next board meeting, if there are any suggestions or any rewrites that you would like to discuss, please send them my way and I will reach out and go through those. The first one is Board Policy 4119.23, and then the one, 4219 and the components of it. It's unauthorized release of confidential privileged information. Basically, it's just an update of CSBA language, crossing out the old language and starting off that the governing board recognizes the importance of keeping confidential information confidential. It goes into that staff shall maintain the confidentiality of information acquired in the course of their employment, and confidential privileged information shall be released only to the extent authorized by law. And then it gives examples such as what happens in closed session for board and other disclosures. The next one that is deleted that is not part of board policy anymore per CSBA is the governing board recognizing the importance of having adequate job descriptions for every district employee. Personnel Commission pretty much governs this for classified that we need to do it every 3 years. And as certificated jobs come up, we do update those. The next one is employees with infectious diseases. Basically, the new language is, the old language has been crossed out, the new language has been put in because we want to make sure we have the safety of all our district students and staff at the forefront. We want to reduce absenteeism and enhance employee and student performance. So the board policy outlines strategies to prevent the outbreak or spread of infectious diseases. And I work with Marianne and her departments to make sure these plans go into effect and that personnel has the training that they need. Then we have board policy on universal precautions, 4119.43, and the ones that correspond to them. So in order to protect all employees from contact with potentially infectious blood or other bodily fluids, the governing board requires that uniform precautions be observed throughout the district. Our employees are trained on that. And then this just updates what is included in that in universal precautions with updated language. So we do have time to go over these. If there is any language that you would like to bring for discussion, please let me know. Matt, did you have a question?
Yeah, actually, I do have some.
Which one do you want me to look at?
And it's in the first one. It's concerning unauthorized release of confidential and privileged information.
Yes.
That is a very serious violation. And on the second page in the third paragraph, it talks about people who do that may be during a closed session may be subject to disciplinary action. And I really think we ought to add the words up to and including termination. And then down at the bottom of the second page, it has the same language about subject to disciplinary action. And I think we ought to include up to and including termination there as well. These are serious offenses.
So,
and then I'll also make sure, Matt, that we include the contract language on that if it applies to a classified or certificated as well as board members. So just I'll differentiate between the three.
Right, thank you.
And then I'll show it. Mike.
Yeah. So I in reading this earlier, I was thinking, okay, in what case will a release of confidential information be okay? I mean, I can't think of a, because we have FERPA, we have all sorts of, laws about student record. Then I thought about, okay, there was a case, I think 2 weeks ago, where an educational institution, or was it a hospital, that encountered a ransomware attack and they refused to pay the ransom. And therefore, as a result of that, they willfully refused to pay. And then was a patient record or student record was released. So I don't know if that will fall under this as a willful, act to allow confidential information to be released. I'm just thinking outside of the box, because in what case will this actually, happen, right?
Right. You know what? I can add, what's not included in here because it doesn't go into the notes on this. I can send you that to all of you. It will outline what court cases are applicable to this and what circumstances arise. And they give you like examples, like what California cases dictate on this. So I will send those out to you.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, would someone like to make a motion to receive for first reading?
I'll make the motion that we receive
Motion.
the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 board policies as illuminated in 21, as stated in 21.
Okay. Would someone like to second?
I will.
Okay, second by Member Smith. All right, Nicole?
Yes.
Member Lynn?
Yes.
I am a yes. Member Nolenberg?
Yes.
Member Smith?
Yes.
Member Espinosa?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 5-0. Item 22 is approve adjustments to 2020-2021 district budget. And Marianne, are you going to tell us about that?
Absolutely. You may recall that anytime there's an adjustment between major object codes in the budget, it needs board approval. So sometimes we put budgets, say in the 4,000s, which are materials and supplies, but the site actually ends up spending it maybe in conferences, which are in 5,000s, or equipment, say in 5,000. So they're still within their overall budget, but they'd like to spend it with a different object code. So that's part of this. The other one is making some corrections to the budget in the titles. The net result is 0. There's no increase to the budget. It's just reallocating across object codes.
And we do this every year, right?
We actually do this multiple times during the year whenever it's necessary or appropriate. Oftentimes around the first interim, second interim, as we're reviewing the financials, and we'll make adjustments at that time. We also would make adjustments if there's a change in revenue that the governor would give us either an increase or a decrease, and then we would make a budget adjustment at that time.
Okay.
Would someone like to make a motion and a second?
I'll make a motion that we accept the report of the financial changes. The district.
Okay, is there a motion by Member Nolenberg? Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Member Smith. Okay, are there any questions or comments? Yes, Matt.
On the second document you handed us, it's has a journal number BAS-08, and it shows transfers from books and supplies of $424,000, and it looks like it's all going toward salaries and benefits. So is this a case where we're spending one-time money for ongoing expenses?
There actually was a slight clerical error in the budget related to the titles. So this is all related to titles 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's a correction for that.
Okay, gotcha.
And the number at the top, with each fund, we have to put a separate journal entry in. This is all in Fund 1, but one is affecting restricted resources, the titles, and the other is unrestricted. So you have to also divide by unrestricted and restricted when we're reporting it to the county.
Okay.
Are there any other questions or comments? Okay, we'll go ahead and take a vote. Nicole?
Yes.
Okay, I am a yes. Member Nolenberg?
Yes.
Member Smith?
Yes.
Member Espinosa?
Yes.
Member Lynn?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Item 23A is approve the opening of a public hearing to discuss the sufficiency of textbooks or instructional materials. Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, motion by member Nolenberg,
I'll second.
second by member Lynn. And we'll take a roll call vote. Nicole?
Yes.
Member Nolenberg?
Yes.
Member Smith?
Yes.
Member Espinosa?
Yes.
Member Lynn?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. So on a 5-0 vote, the public hearing is open at 8:26. Is there anyone who would like to make any comments for the public hearing? Okay, hearing none, would someone like to make a motion to approve the close? Hold on a second. Let me read it, please. Approve the closing of the public hearing to discuss the sufficiency of textbooks or instructional materials.
Yes, I'll make the motion.
Okay, motion by member Nolenberg. Is there a second?
I'll second.
A second by member Espinosa. Okay. Members, or I'm sorry, Nicole.
Yes.
Member Smith,
Yes.
member Espinosa,
Yes.
member Lynn.
Yes.
I am a yes. Member Nolenberg.
Yes.
Okay, the motion carries 5-0. The public hearing is closed at 8:27. Item 23C is adopt resolution 2021-08, certifying the sufficiency of textbooks or instructional materials. And Mercedes, would you like to just give us a brief overview of this?
Sure. So the other component to the Williams legislation is Ed Code 60119. And that one is the one that requires districts to ensure students have access to textbooks and sufficient materials. So it needs to be done at a public hearing, which we just held, and it needs to be done by the 8th week of school. And we've asked principals to certify that they did receive enough materials and that those materials were distributed to our students.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Would someone like to make a motion to adopt the resolution?
I will.
Okay, motion by member Espinosa. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by member Nolenberg. Are there any questions or comments?
Question. When you say textbooks, are you referring to online distance learning too?
So it can be both. And so in this case, our students did receive both. They received textbooks, they received consumable books, and then they also received the technology to access it digitally.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions or comments? Okay, we'll go ahead and vote on that. Nicole?
Yes.
Member Espinosa?
Yes.
Member Lynn?
Yes.
I am a yes. Member Nolenberg?
Yes.
Member Smith?
Yes.
All right, motion carries 5-0. Next is the consent calendar. These are routine items approved by one motion and one vote unless a member of the board or audience requests that any item be reviewed and voted upon separately. Would someone like to make a motion to approve the consent calendar?
So moved.
Motion by member Smith. Is there a second?
Second by Lynn.
Second by member Lynn. Okay, any comments or questions? Yes, Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question on item 25, which is the contracts and specifically the ones being approved for this meeting. The second one is an increase in expense from $270,000 to $334,000, and it says additional scope of work to include a topographic survey per DSA requirement. So what, I mean, is that basically a three-dimensional blueprint or something? What is that exactly?
So bear with my description as a non-architect, because I did look into this, so I could give you a little bit of a description. So they basically do a 3D model of the slope and angles of each of the sites. We're saving a little bit of money because they did a topographic study at Longden and the high school during the last project, so we don't have to do it there. And basically, if any ground has to be removed, they have to replace it with the same drainage as previously documented in the topographic map.
Is this a new requirement? I just never heard of this before, and that's why I was trying to figure it out.
It is a fairly recent requirement by the DSA, and it only comes up if you're affecting path of travel. So if you have, for instance, let me think of a good example. With the pool, there's a path of travel from the parking lot to get to the pool. So one has to be done there. The 3 new buildings at the high school, there's a path of travel because you're going from the parking lot in.
Okay, I get it. You don't need to keep on going.
Okay, I can provide you more information. It's a little sleepy, but I can provide more if you'd like it.
That's good. That's good. Okay, any other questions or comments?
I did have a question.
Go ahead and vote on. Oh, sure.
I just had a question about 25 in the POs. There's a line number 221 to UC Irvine. It said tuition ed services. So I just wanted to know what that was about for 3,200.
Want me to take that one, Marianne?
Yes, because you have better detail for that class than I do. Thank you.
So as we pay for tier 1 of the admin credential for our administrators.
Okay, thank you.
So you will see that periodically come up. I think we have 3 this year, Melissa.
Okay, because I hadn't seen one, so I just saw tuition and I thought, well, what's that about? So yeah, thank you.
A little boost for being an administrator in our district. So
well, thank you. Okay.
Any other questions or comments? All right, we'll go ahead and vote on this. Nicole?
Yes.
Member Lynn?
Yes.
I am a yes. Member Nolenberg?
Yes.
Member Smith?
Yes.
And Member Espinosa?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 5-0. Item 29 is board comments. Does any board members have any other comments? Yes. Yes, Matt.
I just wanted to point out there's a picture frame on that wall over there with 2 little red dots in it. Those are Carrie's handprints when he was 4 years old.
Aww.
See, some people never throw those things out.
Okay, any other board comments?
Yeah, I just want to say that, Monica, you don't have to, research those case laws. I already have a lot of other things to read. So thank you for that. You don't have to look up.
You sure you don't want them? There's a long laundry list.
No, I don't intend to be a lawyer anytime soon.
It's okay.
Okay, we'll move on to item 30, which, I'm sorry, did someone say something?
No comments?
Do you have a comment?
Well, I just want to thank everybody for pulling together under these difficult situations. Our people from the superintendent on down, all the teachers who did hard work, and all the parents that stayed home to help their little kids at the elementary level get on a computer and learn how to use it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, anything else? All right, item 30 is future. Oh, someone say something? Future agenda items. We have on here our joint meeting with the Personnel Commission, our communications presentation, and our virtual Zoom drills. Is there anything else?
Oh, the virtual Zoom drills should go.
Okay, we'll take that off. Thank you. All right, and I'll just say we had the Canvas on here and it exceeded my expectations. So thank you very much for that.
Did we want to put here, I know we're doing this possibly at a special meeting, but the collaborative discussions around, transitioning in the future from distance learning?
Dr.
It's going to be a
Fricker, do
special
you-
meeting.
You're talking about the school reopening task force that Kim was talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I'm not sure that's something we need to schedule. I think she will do it when the appropriate time comes. Is that okay, Melissa?
Yeah, because she talked about a special meeting. So I just thought I would ask, but that makes sense.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. All right. If there's nothing else, item 30 is additional public comment on agendized and non-agendized items. Is there any public comment? Anybody else?
I will go
Okay,
back.
we'll move on.
Go back to 30.
Did you want to say something?
Yes, I would just like to put on a list of things learned from, lessons learned from the COVID activity. We haven't got that. And it could be a couple of months now, but what are we doing different? What have we learned from doing things differently? Or whatever.
Okay, thank you.
And then I got
All right, thank you.
I got a couple other ones. Kaiser sent out to all its members, I guess, the non-discriminatory letter saying it does not discriminate. And I think we as PR people should take a leaf out of their book. And also the high school, Temple City High School had a thing for all the career things that hadn't been updated a long time. We should do the career technical education so that each school knows or the high school knows what classes they're gonna take. And then also we should send out something, I think, to all the foundations and all the boosters groups that they have to clear with us, the board. No one can collect money technically without our approval. And I don't think we're gonna deny anybody that right. And also what makes a great teacher, we should probably talk to that. And we probably should reissue the calendars for the governor's workshop, which most of you guys got when you took the class. And we started some classes a long time ago at the high school, and I don't know if we ever got any feedback, how many people were enrolled in them. We did a special AP class on computers, and back in 1914 probably, or 2014. And I think we need an update finally on how many people are using the computers at the high school. Kind of a special thing. And then also we turned out a report about education in for the 21st century. This was in color, or we didn't turn it out, somebody else turned it out for us. But we should probably distribute something on that lines to all the parents again. And the local control, we've changed, and that's all now incorporated in whenever we do a presentation. We change the name of, or the state changed the name of local control, but I don't know if we told the parents about STEAM and local control both. And I just kind of wonder what we're doing with achievement gap. We managed to get the achievement gap down under this extreme conditions. Yeah. Also, are we doing a strategic plan, or are we using some other document? Whatever we're using, we should review this strategic plan. Yeah, I think. And then also, when the people do this study for rooms and room sizes. I would like to know what he makes recommendations in that report of how many classrooms we need. And I want to know what the classrooms are for. I think they're the ones that he's asking us to rebuild are because they're too small or something. We have classrooms, we have rooms that at the high school especially, where the room is technically too small to count as a room, but we have a class in it. And also, how many people use the old term was quality control, quality care programs? How many use that as a method of being able to have a babysitter? Us as babysitters. That's it.
Okay, thank you. We'll put them on the list.
Okay,
So-
thank you.
All right, and item 31, did someone, yes.
Sorry, back to 30. I mean, Kent just piqued my memory about something, and this is something that's, I think, is important for our community and for our school board. This is an election year, and if we happen to have, let's say, new board members start anytime in the future, I think it's important that we have some sort of a board bylaws or policy that requires all board members to get Masters in Governance training and certification. This is for the well-being and good governance of our school district.
Okay,
Okay.
that's a good idea. I think there are districts that do have that as a policy, so we can look into that. Okay, anything else? All right, and 31 was additional public comment on agendized and non-agendized items. I don't think we had any. So we'll move, is there a motion to adjourn the meeting at 8:43?
So moved.
Motion.
Motion by member Smith, second by member Nolenberg. Okay, Nicole?
Yes.
I am a yes. Member Nolenberg?
Yes.
Member Smith?
Yes.
Member Espinosa?
Yes.
Member Lynn?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 5-0. We are adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Donna.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
I'd just like to point out that our next meeting is going to be the 18th of November.